Yo quiero par de millones. Chillin'.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Look at this. I'm gonna just show you guys. I have no transmission in the car right now. I have the clutch that's out. I got the flywheel poking right there. And today I am changing the rear main seal in my car because it is leaking, and it's literally the only spot leaking left. So I can't really talk too much. I gotta go straight into working right now. So all I'm missing is to take out all these bolts right here. Once I take those bolts out, I should be good. I'll reach the rear main seal, and once I get to the rear main seal, I'll put the new one in, put some lube in it so it can slide in easy, and then we should be goody. And by the way, this is the first time I'm ever doing this. I've never taken out a transmission. I didn't want to show the whole process because all that was like literally like there was no point in this. Is gonna be it was gonna be a video that was like freaking like 2 videos long, or maybe 3, I don't know. But it was a struggle getting that transmission out. We're gonna wash it because it's completely black. But yes. Anyways, let me get back to work. I'll show you guys what it looks like after, what the rear main seal looks like, everything. Yeah. I don't want to do it so loud because it's really early in the morning right now. It's about like 8 o'clock, and I'm over here because there's a lot of people. But let me show you the first couple things that you need to remove to get that transmission out. Alright, so the first thing you want to take out is the battery that goes right here. Then you want to take out the tray for the battery. After you take out the tray for the battery, you take out the air intake. After you take out the air intake, you want to go ahead and take out the starter. You want to go ahead and take off the... Let me show you. Then you want to go ahead and take off this clutch pump. I believe this is the pump. It's just 2 bolts, one right there and one on the other side. After you take that out, you want to go ahead and remove your wheels, take off the calipers, and take off the disc. Alright, so the reason why you want to take the disc and the caliper off is because you need to take your axles off. And the reason you need to take your axles off, if you guys can see, I don't think you can, but the axle goes straight into the transmission. This right here is your transmission, and then that right there is your axle, and it goes into your transmission. So this is why you need to take off both your caliper and your discs, because this is part of the axle. This is the end of the axle, and that is the other end. That over there is the other end of the axle. Now to take this out, you have to hit it out, but you want to take the tie rod off, and you want to loosen up the bolt for the upper, I think this is the upper control arm, I'm not too sure, but you want to loosen that bolt off as well. Alright guys, so the axle's out, the bolt is out for up here, the upper control arm. The same thing is done to the other side. Alright, now I'm gonna give you a quick update on what I have done so far. So I have taken out the rear motor mount, the front motor mount, and this, I don't really know what this is called, but I took it out. It's under the it goes under the transmission. The transmission lays right here, and I took that motor mount, that support out. I have gotten all the bolts to the transmission out, and I think that's about it. All the bolts for the transmission, all of these ones, they're all 18 millimeters. Now we're gonna go under the car. I'm on my way. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is my flywheel, and there's bolts on the flywheel. I don't know if you guys can see that. But these bolts right here, I gotta take those out. Those are also 18 millimeters. But in order to get these out, if you turn them, the whole flywheel is gonna turn. So you gotta come over here to your crank pulley. This is a 20 millimeter, and you have to have somebody over here holding the crank pulley while you try to loosen up the bolts for the flywheel. And then after you get the bolts loosened for the flywheel, you have the under support that I took out right over there. Once you have that out, the motor mount out, the rear motor mount over there that I took out. I'll show you real quick. The motor mount that goes back there, that's the rear motor mount. Then we have this motor mount right here. This is the only one that's missing. Once we take this motor mount out, the bolts for the flywheel out, then the transmission should be good to drop. And then after that, we're good to change the seal on it and then do everything in reverse. So I might be hyped, but I'm not hyped. I'm happy, but I'm not happy. So I don't know how to feel right now because I already did this once and it didn't work. So let's hope it works. What up, guys? And we are again started off with an early morning, and she is back together now. She is all back together. Transmission is back on, starter, battery, airbox, everything is now back on, and she's not leaking from the rear main seal anymore. So she isn't leaking from the rear main seal anymore, which is really good, but there's still one more leak, and it is this little piece right here. This little oil pressure sensor is what's leaking. And this is the last piece to the puzzle for this whole entire oil leak. First, it was the cam seals that was leaking. Then it was, actually, I first thought that it was the valve cover gasket that was not put on tight or straight. And then I found out it was the cam seals. So I did the cam seals, I did the valve cover gasket, and then found out that the rear main seal is leaking. So I went and did that yesterday, and then yesterday we found out that there was still one more leak, and it's this little oil pressure sensor. So we are gonna put this on today, and we should be good, ready to go. She should be set and ready for Miami. How much of a pain in the ass was this car?
It was a pain in the ass.
A real pain in the ass, right?
It was, but we got it done. That's all that matters.
It sucked, but yes, we did get it done. And yeah, she's running good now. I haven't drove it still, but once I get to drive it, get it hot and everything, hopefully we should be goody. But she's all back together. And yeah. This is probably going to be it for the video after I install that. I might make a whole nother video on that, on how to replace it, because it's a very uncomfortable spot. But I don't know, I'll think about it. I'll see what I'll do. Alright guys, so these are the two oil pressure sensors side by side, and you can obviously tell which one is new and which one is old. This is very crusty and very ugly, as you guys can see. All the way around, brown, and yeah, it definitely had its days, and it's definitely done now. You look at the insides. Yeah. The reason how I found out how this was leaking is because I saw when I was looking at it, this rim right here, where the plastic and the metal meet. That's where I saw oil coming out of. Like this whole bottom ring had oil, like a pool of it right there. So if you guys didn't think that sensors could leak, well, now you know. Oil pressure sensor could leak oil, so be on the lookout for that. If you can't find, if you're looking for an oil leak yourself and you can't find where it is, and it's somewhere in the back of your motor, shut up, I'm vlogging. Where was I at? Got me lost now. I don't even know where I was at. Anyways, yeah. Now, out with the old, in with the new. I'll show you guys. I'll try to show you guys where it's at. Bro, what are you doing? You making a mess down here.
Nigga, the wind made the mess.
The wind made the mess. Don't blame it on the wind. You probably had your hand in the way.
Nah, the wind. The wind just took it. Like when it takes it, gets the camera on.
Alright guys, just ran the Eclipse till it got hot, put the sensor in, put the switch in, everything.
and let the car get up to temperature, and now she's good. So there's no more leak, and I'm very happy, very excited. Finally, yeah, she's ready to go to Miami now. Let's see how she handles doing that. I'm gonna have to get a new front tire sometime before we go, but we're both out here just getting our cars ready for Miami. Alright guys, so I just finished wrapping up the video of the rear main seal, and oh my god, it's been a while. I'm actually picking this camera up since that video was about 2-3 weeks ago, and I absolutely apologize for not uploading it a lot sooner. But yeah, that video took about, it was 3 different days in that video. The first video you saw, the first like 2 videos that you saw, where I said that I wasn't gonna show how I did the transmission and all that, and then the second day was when I actually explained everything that I had to take out in the transmission. And the reason why that happened was because the first week when we did it, we took the transmission out and we did the rear main seal, we put it on wrong. And then the second time I went, and I already knew what I was taking off, so I went and explained everything because it was very easy. And then I put on the rear main seal and we did it on the right way. So after we put it on the right way, I went and I showed you guys, and then that day we found out that there was still one more leak, and that was the sensor. So oh my god, it was such a pain in the butt. But everybody that knows what I've been dealing with this car, with this oil leak and everything, you guys know that this is such a relief for me. And yeah, so I want to thank everybody for watching, sticking around, and thank you for all the OGs that are still hanging with me right now. Like, I know I'm not at very many, you know, but I will be, and I promise you that. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Yo quiero par de millones. Chillin', chillin', chillin'.